Thank you. Officer Kerrick, on September 13th of 2013, what time did you go to work?
I arrived at roll call at 8:15 p.m.
And what were your shift hours?
8:15 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. the following day.
How much sleep did you get the night before?
Approximately 7 hours.
Did you work any overtime the night before?
The night before, yes.
Around that first.
Showing you what I have marked as Defendant's Exhibit 82. Can you tell the court what that is?
Yes, that's the off-duty sheet that I filled out and submitted to the company that I work for.
And is that with the authorization of CMPD?
Yes, sir.
Move Defenses 82 and evidence, right? Officer Kerrick, is this the off-duty that you worked on September the 12th, one day prior to September the 13th?
Yes, sir, it is.
And was this approved by the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And it shows that you worked a little over 7 hours, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you believe it's important to be arrested prior to beginning a shift?
Yes, sir.
Why that?
So you can do your duties fully functional?
Do you drink any alcohol before your shift?
No, sir.
Take any drugs before your shift?
No, sir.
Tell the jury what roll call is.
Roll call is a room that you go into, like a conference room, where a sergeant comes in and accounts for all the officers that's supposed to be there for the day, make sure everyone's there and accounted for, and goes over problem areas in the division, any strings of robberies, home break-ins, anything they had throughout the day or any other shift.
Did you attend roll call?
Yes, sir, I did.
And was there anything in particular that your sergeant told you to look out for at roll call?
No, sir.
And that night you were with Officer Little, correct?
In roll call?
Not in roll call, later on that night.
Yes, sir.
How long has Officer Little been with the CMPD?
13 or 14 years at the time.
And how about Officer Neal? Did you know Officer Neal?
Yes, I knew Officer Neal. He had been there 8 or 9 years.
And all three of you are in the Hickory Grove Division, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
So where did you begin your patrol?
That night,
Yes.
in the Hickory Grove Division, Response Area 2,
What number car were you driving?
028
And what was your call sign?
12-16-3. The 3 stands for third shift.
And was that your call sign that night?
Yes, sir, it was.
And tell the jury what is a call sign.
A call sign is a number designated to each officer that it's for communications, to talk to dispatch and to talk to each officer. They'll have a call sign. The 12 stands for the first 12 stands for the Hickory Grove Division. So if you're 12, 12, and 16, the 12 would be for Hickory Grove Division. The next 12 would be for your response area, which mine was the 2, so it would have been 12. If it was a 3, it would have been 12, 13, and then whatever the next number is. And if you'll have 3 or 4 officers working in a night, say in the response area 2, then they might be 12, 12, 13, or 12, 12, 14, and so forth and so on.
And you utilize those when you get calls for service, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And tell the jury, what is a priority 1 call for service?
A priority 1 call for service is the highest priority call that CMPD can answer. It means get there quick. It's a crime in progress or a very bad accident, something really bad's happened, and you need to get there as quick as you can.
During the early morning hours of September the 14th, 2013, did you receive a priority 1 call for service from CMPD dispatch?
Yes, sir, I did, at my request.
And can you describe the nature of the call to the jury?
It was a priority 1 B&E,
And what is being,
breaking and entering.
to your knowledge, is that a felony or a misdemeanor?
It's a felony call for service, a priority 1 breaking and
Hold on,
entering.
there was an objection.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead, ask your question. What is a priority 1? Oh, excuse me, to your knowledge, is a breaking and entering a felony or a misdemeanor?
It is a felony if the house is occupied.
And so I take it to mean that it's a misdemeanor if it's not.
I'm going to take that. It's not correct.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's more a legal question, and we normally don't let witnesses testify to matters of law.
What was the nature of the call?
It was a priority 1 breaking and entering call for service, and the complainant was at home at the time.
And where was the call?
It was in the Bradfield Farms neighborhood off of Reedy Creek Road.
And had you patrolled that area before?
Yes, sir, I have.
And had you patrolled, have you been in any other response area other than Hickory Grove since you've been a police officer?
Yes, sir.
Which other areas?
I've been in the response area 1, the 2, and the 3, but I've been assigned to the 2.
Okay. But that's all within Hickory Grove?
Yes, sir.
You haven't been outside of Hickory Grove?
I have a few times just to answer a few calls for service to help other divisions if they need assistance.
Why did you add yourself to the call?
Because it was a priority 1 breaking and entering call, and the homeowner was at home at the time. And the call reported that someone was attempting to get in the house, either had kicked their way through the door or was in the house at the time.
And when you added yourself to the call, en route to the call, did you turn on your blue lights and sirens?
Yes, sir, I did.
Why did you turn on your blue lights and sirens?
I ran my emergency equipment so I could get to the residence as fast as I could.
And when you got to did you ever turn them off?
I turned off my emergency equipment approximately a quarter of a mile from the residence.
Okay. And why did you do that?
I did not want to alert the suspect that I was close to the scene so we could try to catch him in the act before he ran.
And did you have does that activate your DMVR as well?
Activating your emergency equipment, your DMVR comes on as well, yes, sir.
And can officers erase footage on your DMVR?
No, sir.
And at some point you turned off your DMVR?
Yes, sir, I turned off my DMVR at the same time I shut down my emergency equipment.
And why did you do that?
If I had arrived at the scene and there wasn't anything there, then I would have parked my patrol car and it would have just recorded darkness. There wouldn't have been anything there. Typically, I would use my DMVR if I was going to work a DWI or anything like that. So instead of wasting all the space on the DMVR, because you need all of that on camera, you're going to have someone standing. Well, in this instance, because if I would have parked my patrol vehicle in front of the residence, it would have been facing just the front of the car. The camera doesn't turn with you, and it would have been recording nothing. And if I had to do a B&E report, a breaking and entering report call, and then possibly process the scene as well as a crime scene officer, then it would have just a lot of stuff recorded that's nothing.
How is that different from a DWI?
Because with a DWI, you would have somebody standing in front of the car performing the field sobriety testing, and everything needs to be recorded directly in front of the vehicle.
I don't have a question.
Mr. Kerrick, I'm showing you what I have listed as Defendant's Exhibit 83. Can you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, sir. This is the computer screen in a patrol vehicle.
And would this be a computer screen that you were looking at en route to the suspected break-in and entering or burglary?
Yes, sir. This, I don't believe, is exactly my computer screen. I'm not sure, but this would be what it would look like. Yes,
Is
sir.
your call screen on there, or call sign on there?
Yes, sir.
Move defense is 83 and evidence shown. Officer Kerrick, can you tell the jury where approximately your call sign is?
My call sign is 12-12-16-3, which would be the one at the top that you can see.
Tim? That's your call sign?
Yes, sir, above that line.
And tell the jury what this AR next to it means.
The AR means arrived, when I arrived on scene.
And tell the jury what that is.
That's 2:46 a.m.,
And what was that? So what does that signify?
the time that I arrived on scene.
And what are these numbers underneath it?
Each call is assigned a set of complaint numbers, and that's the complaint numbers that you would have for a report if you had to do a report.
Tell the jury what this information is.
That's a B&E residential occupied. It's a residential breaking and entering, and the house is occupied at the time.
And what does this JST-OCC mean?
It means it just occurred.
And does that mean it just occurred at this address?
Yes, sir, that's correct. 7507 Reedy Creek Road.
Prior to arriving at the scene, did you get a description from dispatch of the suspect?
Yes, sir, I did.
And what was that description?
It was, from what I recall, I believe it was a black male, approximately 6 foot tall, and 200 pounds, wearing a greenish colored shirt, muscular build, and pants.
And to your knowledge, did you know if the suspect and the victim of the burglary knew each other?
An officer had, not sure who, an officer had asked dispatch if the complainant and the suspect knew each other, and she advised that they did not.
And are you familiar with the area?
Yes, sir, I am.
Did CPD dispatch ever confirm whether or not the suspect was armed?
No, sir, she did not.
How long did it take you to arrive on scene?
Approximately 5 to 8 minutes running emergency traffic.
And when you arrived, what did you observe?
When I arrived, I pulled up just below the driveway of the house. I shined my spotlight as I pulled up in the yard. It was very dark, The yard was dark. I didn't notice any lights on inside the house at all. It was just a little odd to
Why did you
me.
say it was odd?
Because the woman was calling 911 saying someone was kicking in her house, trying to force their way in, or had kicked through the house. It was strange to me that there were no lights on in the house. I didn't see anybody. I didn't see any lights on outside. Nothing.
How many other people were there when you exited your vehicle?
No one.
Did you communicate to anyone about what you saw?
After I exited my patrol vehicle, I proceeded up the driveway. As I exited my vehicle, I heard some loud grunting and screaming sounds coming from Pool House Road. I kind of just ignored it at first, and I was going to go check on the complainant. As I proceed up the driveway about middle ways, I heard it again, very loud screaming. I thought two people were arguing. About that time, I noticed another patrol vehicle was proceeding from the opposite direction that I was coming from, and I wasn't sure who it was, but ended up being Officer Little. He rolled down his window. I turned around and advised him that there was some yelling and screaming coming down the pool road. We should go check it out.
And so you never talked to the owner of the home, who we now know is Sarah McCarthy?
No, sir, I did not.
And why didn't you?
With the house being very dark, and from what I could tell from the front yard, the house appeared to be secure. But I knew that there was something going on down the pool road, and there was a good chance that it easily could have been the suspect who had taken the complainant, or I at least thought it could be the suspect from the home break-in, and I felt it necessary that we should really go check that out.
What did you do next?
Well, after I advised Officer Little of what I heard, he just proceeded down that way, just took off. He turned right down Pool House Road, and I turned around and got back into my patrol vehicle to go back him up. As I'm walking to my patrol vehicle, I noticed another patrol car coming from behind me. I wasn't sure at the time who that was, but I assumed they would either stay at the residence and try to make contact with the complainant or follow us down there.
And when you got back in your car, where did you go?
I turned left to go back up Officer Little. I didn't want him to go down there and check out what I was hearing by himself.
And when you got down there, did you see anybody?
As I pulled down Pool House Road, Officer Little was a good ways in front of me at first, and I called up to him, and then I noticed a black male matching the description of the home break-in.
And what was that description?
A black male, approximately 5'9", 6 foot tall, 200 pounds, wearing a greenish colored shirt and pants.
Any other person that you saw in that area at that time?
No, sir.
Were there any vehicles, wrecked vehicles, anywhere around that you saw?
No, sir.
So at the time, the only people that you knew were on the scene was yourself, Officer Little, and the suspect.
Yes, sir.
And you said that person matched the exact description you got from CMPD dispatch.
Yes, sir, he did.
Had CMPD dispatch confirmed to you at this point whether or not the suspect was armed?
No, sir. We had no idea if he was armed or not.
How far in distance was the suspect from 7507 Reedy Creek Road?
Less than 1/8 of a mile.
Could you see the 7507 Reedy Creek Road from where you were?
Yes, sir, I could.
where you were down Reedy Creek Pool Road, were there any residential homes,
No, sir.
any businesses,
No, sir.
any gas stations?
No, sir.
Do you remember any signages around the area?
There's a sign at the front of the neighborhood. It's posted, no trespassing between, I'm not sure the hours, 10 or 11 p.m. to 5 or 6 a.m.
You didn't see any other vehicles besides your car and Officer Little's car, is that right?
No, sir, there were no other vehicles there.
Did you believe that this suspect was the same suspect that was the suspect in the burglary up at 7507 Reedy Creek?
Yes, sir, I absolutely did.
Why did you believe that?
I had no reason not to believe that, based off of his description and his location and proximity to the time.
And at that time you got out of your car,
Yes, sir.
and what did you see?
The suspect was walking towards Officer Little's direction. Officer Little was out of his patrol vehicle. He had his taser drum in his hand. The suspect just continued. Continued to advance Officer Little.
Did the suspect ever say anything?
I couldn't hear him saying anything.
Did he ever say the word help?
No, sir.
Did he ever say the word, I've been in a phrase, I've been in an accident?
No, sir.
Did he ever put his hands up like this and surrender?
No, sir.
Did you ever hear the suspect say anything directly to you that night?
No, sir.
Did you ever see the suspect put his hands to his eyes like he couldn't see who you were?
No, sir.
Got an approach.
Officer Kerrick, I'm showing you what I have, we've already marked as defense exhibit number 9. Do you recognize this?
Yes, sir, I do.
What is that?
That's an aerial view of my car and Officer Little's car.
Please report if I can have Officer Kerrick step around your office. Officer Kerrick, now tell me, where did you begin when you arrived in the Bradville Farm neighborhood?
A little bit below this mailbox. You can see the little mailbox there. That's where I started.
And where did Officer Neal come from?
Neil came from this direction, which is the Harrisburg Road entrance.
And when you saw him approaching, did he have his blue lights inside the door?
No, he did not.
And what about Officer Little?
Officer Little came from the opposite direction.
And where did your car end up?
This is my car here,
And where's Officer Little's car?
right here.
And when you first saw the suspect, where was he approximately?
It's about right in here.
So between, on the sidewalk and the grass,
Right at the edge of the sidewalk in the grass.
and were the conditions like this?
No, it was dark.
And how was the lighting in the area?
There were a few street lights, but it was still fairly dark.
Is this a smooth, flat surface over here to the left?
It's pretty smooth over here, this side, and you got this little drainage ditch here. I'm not really sure about that here.
Okay. How about on this side? Is this side smooth, flat?
No, there's a really deep ditch right here, right beyond these trees.
And where were you positioned? Where were you positioned?
When I exited my vehicle.
Yes.
Just right outside the driver's side door.
And where was Officer Little?
He right outside the driver's side door, and I think he stepped forward just a little bit. It's a white Crown Victoria with the word Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police written on the right side, the left side. There's the word police written on the front bumper of the car, or the front grille of the car, I'm sorry, and also on the back of the car in the trunk with a light bar on top.
And to your knowledge, they left at night?
Yes, sir, they do.
Officer Kerrick, I'm showing you what I have marked as Defendant's Exhibit 84. Can you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, sir, that's my patrol vehicle.
And from what angle is that being shown?
The side, the left side.
Defendant's Exhibit 85.
Yes, sir, that's again my patrol vehicle from the rear of the car.
And is that during the daytime or the nighttime?
Daytime.
Showing you what I have marked as Defendant's Exhibit 86. Can you tell me what that is?
That is the left side of my patrol vehicle at nighttime.
And are the letters hard to read or are they illuminated?
They're illuminated.
How do you know it's your car?
It's 028, which is my signed patrol vehicle.
And on the Defendant's Exhibit 87, what is that?
That is the rear of my patrol vehicle at night.
And Defendant's Exhibit 88.
This is the front of Officer Little's patrol vehicle at night.
Is this how your police car looks during the day and during nighttime hours?
Yes, sir.
Was Officer Little's car marked the exact same way?
Yes, sir.
Move 84 and through 88 in the evidence room. Officer Kerrick, is this your police car 028?
Yes, sir, that's correct.
And what is that emblem on the side of the car?
That's the hornet's nest, the badge.
And what does it say on the side of the door?
Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police.
Officer Kerrick, is this the rear of your vehicle?
Yes, sir.
And what does that say on the back?
Police, and then emergency 911, and my car number 028.
Officer Kerrick, Defendant's 86, what is that?
That is the left side of my patrol vehicle and it also says Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police on the side and 028.
And is the decal illuminated?
Yes, sir, it is.
Is it always illuminated at night?
If there's a little light on it, yes.
And can you turn it on and off, or does it just illuminate?
It just illuminates.
Officer Kerrick, can you tell me what defendant's 87 is?
That's the back of my patrol vehicle at night, the rear of the car.
And what does it say on the back?
Police.
And this picture from a distance, what is it this is a picture of?
That's a picture of Officer Little's patrol vehicle.
And what does it say on the front?
Police.
And tell the jury, what is this thing on the top of that, on the top of your police car?
That is the light bar.
Tell the jury what are wigwags.
Wigwags are like a caution light on the back of the light bar that will flash if you don't want to have your blue lights on. If there's a car that's broke down on the side of the road, somebody wants to change a tire, and you just want to put your wigwags on, you can just use them as caution lights.
And were you wearing a Class B uniform?
Yes, sir, I was.
Tell the jury what a Class B uniform is.
A Class B uniform is a short-sleeved uniform, blue with pants and the boots, and it's got a Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police patch on each side that says to say police, and that consists of your badge as well.
And does that have a side patch?
They will if light hits them.